Howdy, welcome to Shop Time. And today we're going to be working on our GMT 800 from General Motors. So the GMT 800 actually has multiple platforms in it, and it runs from 1999 to 2006. And there are many who say that it is the absolute best of the General Motors production line of their pickup and SUVs. Within the GMT 800 series, it includes Chevrolet, GMC, and of course, Cadillac. And we have multiple different vehicles that we can choose from, primary ones being Silverados, Sierras, and of course we have the Tahoe, Suburban, Yukon, and Escalades in all their different flavors within those series. So within this particular video, we're actually going to be replacing the driver's side mirror glass. This is a full factory replacement, and it has three functionalities with it. It has the dimmable feature, it has the turn signal integrated within it, and it's heated. Our driver's side mirror was actually broken on our Yukon XL whenever we got it. The dimmable feature didn't work. It has already been removed. I purchased this mirror replacement with my own money from carparts.com. At the time of recording, it's about $160.50. That's a lot of money, but the reason that it is so expensive is because it has the auto dimming feature, which is something I wanted to include for Mrs. Homeworld. As with all GMT 800s, there is no blind spot detection, so this does not have that. This is a Kool Vue brand model CV49GL-S, which replaces OE number 889443991. This includes a 1-year warranty from Kool Vue. This mirror backing is extremely close to the factory mirror backing, and it includes clips for the wiring harness to go through to ensure that it doesn't get trapped anywhere within the mechanisms whenever you're operating the mirror. On the driver's side mirror, we have the wire loom, but we have connectors for the wire loom to go into. We're gonna go ahead and put this into our wire loom holder. Just gonna clip these in. Pretty simple process there. Now over here is a little difficult because on this one, you'll see that we have a hole here, and then we have a hole here, and that needs to be put under here and under here. You can see that these are physical clips. Those actually go into these holes here. Whenever we put this in, you'll see that on the bottom here, we have 45 degrees, and then we have a square. The top is the square, the bottom is gonna be the 45 degrees. Just want to put the clip into the side on one, and then we're going to gently push it down until it clips into both sides. Now the other connector we have here is going to be very similar, except we're gonna put it through there, and we're gonna be hitting the widest part of the body here. But it is the exact same process. You're just going to push in one side and rotate it in, and now we're fully seated. And we're gonna take our wire loom here and connect it up. And then this wire just comes right up through here, and we're just trying to make it look good so that we don't have any issues with wires getting caught up. You can see we have all of our wires set very nicely in here. We have our connectors set properly within their holders, and then we have the wires going through to the turn signal going through their holders as well. There's several videos on YouTube that attempt to show you how to remove the side mirrors on the GMT 800. Most of them that I have watched actually have you break the mirror, and that is something that I don't particularly like to do, especially if you have a dimming mirror. If you break that mirror, you're gonna get that dimming solution all over yourself, all over the concrete, or all over the side of your vehicle, possibly all the above. And that stuff stains very, very quickly. I had to use a magic eraser to get it off the side of my truck. So I'm gonna show you a little trick with the passenger side that will prevent you from having that issue. Now for me, I got an old screwdriver. I have had this thing for ages. I actually found it a long time ago. And as you can tell, a dog had chewed the handle. Well, this isn't something I wanted to use as a screwdriver anymore, so I converted it. I initially converted this for a rear main seal puller, and it worked extremely good. But since I have bent this screwdriver in this fashion, I have found so many useful things to use this screwdriver for. So if you make one of these, don't throw it away. Keep it in your arsenal of tools because it will come in handy for cases just like this. What I did was I heated up the tip of the screwdriver and I physically bent it. Now it's not perfectly 90 degrees, but it is pretty close to it. Now, of course, this removes the temper and it is going to alter the metal itself. We're not looking for something that has a whole lot of strength with it. We're just looking for something that can do the task at hand. And in this case, it's removing that side mirror. As I already mentioned, whenever we got the truck, this mirror was already broken on it. Well, I watched a video on how to remove it, and unfortunately, like most of the videos out there, it was destructive in nature. I regret doing that, but that's where we're at. So with this one, I've already removed the glass. If you want to know how to remove this glass, I'm going to insert a clip real quick on how to do it with the passenger side. Anytime we're trying to move the mirror in here, we want to be very gentle as we're pushing it around. You don't want to push it fast and strip those gears. The unfortunate thing with these mirrors is you cannot replace the gears that are in here. It's not something you can piecemeal out. You actually have to buy the entire mirror assembly. I wish somebody would come out with replacement gears for these, because that's what most of them actually have problems with. First, we're going to push down on the mirror very gently, and that's going to expose the top. If we look down in here, we're going to be able to see that we have some little clips that are down within this back section here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our screwdriver and we're going to pull up on all of those clips that make the big ring. Hopefully you can see those little clips that are down in there. Very tight little area. So you definitely do not want to get a larger screwdriver to do this. You're going to want a smaller one. We're going to take the hook right here and we're going to pull up. Okay, we got our first one. And we're just going to give it a little bit of pressure with our fingers that are right here by the light. And we're going to work down and around the side. And once it starts to come out, it usually likes to pop the rest of the way out. As you can see, we have not broken our mirror at all. So now we're just going to work it a little bit at a time to get the bottom ones off. There we go. So you can use that same method to remove this. It's a little bit more difficult, but you can still do it as I have done it before on my previous Suburban Z71. Now with these replacement mirrors, your spade connectors that are on here are a lot thinner than the factory connectors. Because of that, we're actually gonna have to take our spade receiver connectors here, the female ends, and we're gonna have to clamp them down a little bit to make them tight. So for that, I'm just gonna get some duckbill pliers and I'm gonna gently squeeze the spade connector to make it tighter. That way it holds on nice and firm onto our spade connector and doesn't come loose while we're driving down the road. Now we have our connectors all ready to go. With these heated sections, it doesn't matter where you connect them to. We're going to go ahead and connect up to a little bit more difficult connector, which is this one. And that's our donkeys. So we're gonna go ahead and connect up the one that's gonna be a little bit more difficult to connect. And you'll see that it actually has the same 45s at the bottom and 90s at the top. And we're going to take that and slide it in and connect it up. And there's a positive stop whenever it's fully seated. Okay, we're now gonna connect up our heat leads. And because we tightened them, they're definitely gonna be nice and firm on there, which is much better than loose. Those two are done. Now, whenever we get ready to put this on, you don't want to just push on this, because if you do, you're probably going to end up breaking the mirror and you're right back in the same position. To make sure that you don't cut yourself, just in case as you're pushing this on, go ahead and grab something like this microfiber towel. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to give equal pressure around, and we're going to move around as we're doing this. And you're holding the entire mirror so you're not breaking it as you're pushing it back. And you'll start hearing some clips engage. There we go. There we go. And that should be fully seated. The other way you can see if it's fully seated or not is if there's waves within the mirror itself. Let's go ahead and test. So first we're going to test the turn signal. And there we go. You can see that the turn signal is working appropriately. Next, we're actually going to test the mirror itself. And everything is functioning properly there. Final, we're going to go ahead and turn on our rear defroster, because our rear defroster is what actually impacts the heated mirror, and it shouldn't take long and we should start feeling heat on the mirror itself. And there we go, I can start feeling the heat. Everything is good now. Make sure whenever you're returning the mirror to normal position that you don't go too far. If you have automatic mirrors and you try to manually push it, you can actually cause damage to the gears that are in here. So thank you for joining me today with Shop Time and working on my GMT 800. If you have any questions about the work that we did, please be sure to leave it down in the comments below. I love hearing from you all. Thanks for watching.